Doom is here. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Fibs Reacts, and we just got our official first look at Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday. Now, Doctor Doom is a personal favorite of mine. I always thought he, was a cool villain in the Marvel universe. And over the years, he has had many different adaptations, both in live action and animation. I would say probably my first introduction to Doctor Doom was in the early 2000s Fantastic Four movie. And in the animated world, I would probably say the Doctor Doom in the Superhero Squad show, which I think is a very funny interpretation of that character. But today we will mostly be discussing some of the live action versions that we've seen of Doctor Doom in the past, as well as, of course, this recent photo that was released of the Doctor Doom that we will be seeing in Avengers Doomsday. So some of you may or may not know, there was actually a live action version of Doctor Doom that was in an unreleased Fantastic Four movie in the 90s, around 1994. There are some pretty interesting documentaries and videos on YouTube about this particular Fantastic Four movie. I would definitely encourage you to go check it out because it's pretty interesting. But as mentioned before, that movie never saw the light of day. So that brings us to what most consider to be the first live action adaptation of Doctor Doom, which was in the 2005 Fantastic Four movie. Now, this version of Victor Von Doom was portrayed by the late Julian McMahon, who unfortunately passed away a few months ago. Rest in peace. Now, honestly, I think this version of Doctor Doom was pretty solid all the way around. I know that a lot of people have their opinions on this Doctor Doom, and some don't like it, but there are many who do. Honestly, I think for 2005, the suit and the mask and everything is pretty good. I personally don't really have any issue with this particular interpretation of Doctor Doom. They went for a look that was reminiscent of what we see in the comics, but they also tried to, give it that sense of real life by bringing it to live action. And I think for the most part, it translated pretty well. And we also saw his return in the sequel, which was The Rise of the Silver Surfer. And again, really solid all the way around. I think he was a very intimidating villain. And the next time we saw the character was in the 2015 reboot of Fantastic Four, which has now become known as Fan4stick. Now, obviously, this movie was not really well received by fans or critics, and reasonably so. I mean, personally, I'm not crazy about it. It definitely has its issues. One in particular being the design of Doctor Doom. I will say though that first scene where he wakes up on Earth, and he's kind of going about the laboratory, and he's like taking out all these soldiers and scientists, and like heads are exploding. Like, it's a really intense scene for a PG-13 movie. And it's really dark and the lights are flickering and everything. And I was like, that was a cool scene itself. But again, the character design of Doctor Doom himself was just really bad. There just didn't really seem to be any direction behind his overall look. It just looked like a hodgepodge of metal and energy. Also, people have noted that his eyes are too close together, which, I mean, they kind of are, and it looks weird. And yeah, just overall not a great adaptation of Doctor Doom. And finally, that brings us to this latest adaptation of a live action Doctor Doom, where he is finally in the MCU and he's being played by Robert Downey Jr. Now, when this casting was first announced, I was kind of like, what? It didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. It felt like fan service. It felt like nostalgia bait. And I was like, man, like, you could have picked like any other actor to play Doctor Doom. And again, all of this to say, nothing against Robert Downey Jr. Obviously, he's fantastic, and I think he was an amazing Tony Stark. But I am interested to see, why they chose to go in this direction and why they chose to cast Doctor Doom with the same actor they cast Iron Man with. Because personally, I probably would have gone in a different direction, choosing a brand new actor. I think my personal choice would have been Cillian Murphy. I think he would have been a pretty cool Doctor Doom. Now, after this casting was announced, I did some research and came across a version in the comics where something like this did actually happen, where basically Tony Stark like became Doctor Doom. Something about him and Victor Von Doom were like college roommates, and then they did an experiment and like switched bodies or something. I don't know. Comics Explained did a whole video on it. I'll link it below. Go check it out. So maybe that's the direction that they're going with. But I don't know. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't just pick a brand new actor to play Doctor Doom. But if it's Robert Downey Jr., I know he's going to give his all to the character. He always does. He always does a great job. I just hope there's enough there to separate his portrayal of Tony Stark to this current portrayal of Victor Von Doom. And as far as the look of the costume itself, I mean, this is like a damn near perfect live action adaptation of Doctor Doom. I think it looks great. I mean, it looks ripped right out of the comics. There's even, some elements of chainmail in his armor, and, obviously we get the green, and it looks great. Now, I think at the time of this video, I think they are wrapping up filming of Avengers Doomsday. Now, I have no idea what, kind of story they're going to go with for this movie. I just know that there is a lot of people that are going to be in this movie. We're going to have, obviously this current version of the Fantastic Four. We're going to have some of the X-Men characters. And then obviously we're going to have, most of the current characters in the MCU. So yeah, I am interested to see what they come up with for Avengers Doomsday. I do think this will get people back into the cinema to watch a Marvel movie. I think it's been a really long time of kind of this dry spell of, these recent Marvel projects that just don't really interest people a whole lot. But I think with having Avengers in the title, I think that's gonna, make people reminisce of seeing, Infinity War and Endgame and even the first Avengers movie. And it's gonna bring them back to the cinema. So yeah, I am very excited about this version of Doctor Doom. I think it's gonna be great. As of right now, I'm pretty confident that Avengers Doomsday is going to be a hit. I really do. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching the video. Please be sure to give your thoughts about this new version of Doctor Doom in the comments below. I would love to hear what you have to say. Please be sure to give the video a like and subscribe, and feel free to share. Hope you guys take it easy, and as always, catch you later. Doctor Doom. Puh. It is you who is doomed. That's like the fourth fucking dump truck this past my house.